In the late 1960s, music was divided. Rock and roll for the rebels, country for the storytellers, and rarely did the two meet. But a few visionary musicians saw potential in blending the raw energy of rock with the heartfelt soul of country. They believed these genres could merge into something new, capturing the spirit of a changing America. This wasn't about gimmicks. It was about creating a seamless, authentic fusion. The result? Country rock, a genre born from risk and innovation. At its heart was a band that, though not a commercial giant, became legendary, the Flying Burrito Brothers. Their story is one of creativity, conflict, and a legacy that shaped generations. This is how they redefined American music. Gram Parsons, the charismatic force behind this movement, had already shaken up the birds with his country vision. But Parsons wanted more, a sound he called cosmic American music, blending country, soul, R&B, gospel, and rock. He found a kindred spirit in Chris Hillman, another Byrds alum with deep bluegrass roots. Together, they set out to form a band that embodied this new hybrid identity. Their goal: push boundaries, challenge expectations, and create music that was both authentic and revolutionary. They sought musicians who could handle country harmonies and rock rhythms alike. This quest led to a lineup that, for a brief moment, defined country rock. Their work would culminate in one of the genre's most revered albums. The revolution was about to begin. Parsons and Hillman needed more than talent. They needed chemistry. They recruited bassist Chris Etheridge, whose soulful style bridged country and R&B, and drummer Michael Clark, whose rock background kept the sound fresh. Etheridge's melodic bass and Clark's driving beat formed the backbone of the band. This wasn't just a supergroup. It was a reunion of musicians with shared history and vision. Together, they were ready to retreat from the spotlight and forge a new sound. The initial quartet, Parsons, Hillman, Etheridge, and Clark, set the stage for something revolutionary. Their combined experience and passion would soon change the landscape of American music. The dream team was assembled. The band found their creative home in a suburban house dubbed Burrito Manor. Here they experimented endlessly, blending country's storytelling with rock's energy. Gram Parsons led the charge, pushing the band to perfect their fusion. The addition of Sneaky Pete Kleinow on pedal steel brought a psychedelic edge. As their sound solidified, they needed a name: the Flying Burrito Brothers. Whimsical, yet profound, the name captured their playful spirit and genre-bending ambition. It was a mission statement: respect tradition, break rules, and have fun. Their music and name reflected a joyful rebellion. The Flying Burrito Brothers were ready to launch their revolution. A new sound was born. After weeks at Burrito Manor, the Flying Burrito Brothers hit the LA club scene. Their live shows were a bold experiment: country harmonies, rock rhythms, and Sneaky Pete's pedal steel. Audiences were puzzled but intrigued. The band was too country for rock fans, too rock for country fans. Yet their raw talent and conviction won over a loyal following. Parsons, in his flamboyant nudie suit, embodied their cosmic cowboy image. These gigs honed their sound and built a cult buzz in the LA music scene. Musicians and fans alike recognized something special was happening. Word spread, a new sound was in town. The stage was set for their studio debut. In late 1968, the Flying Burrito Brothers, fresh from the LA club scene, signed with A&M Records to capture their unique sound. Led by Gram Parsons and Chris Hillman, they entered the studio to create the Gilded Palace of Sin. The sessions were electric, blending country storytelling with countercultural spirit. The album's title captured a world of faded glamour and moral complexity, reflecting both Los Angeles and the band's music. Despite tensions, their shared vision built a record that would define country rock for a new generation. The Gilded Palace of Sin fused country and rock like never before, with Sneaky Pete Kleinow's pedal steel guitar soaring through fuzz and Leslie speakers. Gram Parsons and Chris Hillman's harmonies brought aching beauty, rooted in country tradition, but reaching new emotional heights. Tracks like Hot Burrito #1 and Sin City showcased their unique blend of heartbreak and innovation. The rhythm section's soulful bass and driving drums powered the Burrito Brothers' revolutionary sound. In February 1969, The Gilded Palace of Sin by the Flying Burrito Brothers was released to the world. The band and their label had high hopes that this groundbreaking album would find a massive audience and redefine the musical landscape. However, the initial commercial reception was deeply disappointing. The album failed to make a significant impact on the charts, selling a mere 40,000 copies in its first year. The very thing that made the album so unique, its seamless blend of genres, also made it difficult to market. Radio stations didn't know where to place it. It was too country for rock radio and far too rock and roll for country radio, leaving it stranded in a commercial no man's land. Despite the poor sales, the album received widespread critical acclaim. Music journalists and critics recognized the genius and innovation at work. They praised the sophisticated songwriting, the incredible musicianship, and the sheer audacity of the band's vision. Reviewers hailed it as a landmark achievement, one of the most important and forward-thinking albums of the year. While this critical praise didn't translate into record sales, it helped solidify the band's reputation as serious, visionary artists. The Flying Burrito Brothers were lauded as pioneers, even if the general public hadn't yet caught on to what they were doing. While the album may have been a commercial failure, it quickly became a massive success in one crucial area, among other musicians. In Los Angeles and beyond, artists were listening intently. The album became a cult classic almost overnight, passed around from musician to musician like a sacred text. Bands like the Eagles, Poco, and countless other future country rock and Americana acts would later cite Flying Burrito Brothers as a foundational influence. It was a blueprint, a proof of concept that showed it was possible to merge rock and country in a way that was both commercially viable and artistically credible. After releasing their debut, the Flying Burrito Brothers set out on a legendary train tour across America. The romantic idea quickly turned disastrous: poor attendance, financial strain, and growing tension within the band. Gram Parsons spiraled deeper into substance abuse, while Hillman grew frustrated with the chaos. Creative differences pulled the band apart, and their second album lacked the spark of their debut. The cracks in the palace were clear. Soon the walls would come tumbling down. In 1970, Gram Parsons left the Flying Burrito Brothers, drawn to the Rolling Stones and a solo career. His exit left a creative void and nearly ended the band. But Hillman chose to carry on, recruiting Rick Roberts as the new frontman. The band's sound became softer and more polished, moving toward mainstream country rock. Their new album found success, but the wild spirit of Parsons was gone. The Burritos survived, but they were now a different band entirely. The Flying Burrito Brothers quickly became a revolving door for LA's top musicians after Hillman and Bernie Leadon left, with Hillman joining Manassas and Leadon co-founding the Eagles. The band cycled through members, moving toward a more mainstream sound, but the legend of the original lineup only grew. Gram Parsons' tragic death in 1973 cemented his iconic status and drew new attention to the band's early work. Alumni shaped the sound of the 70s, and the Burritos' influence became legendary, far outlasting their original run. The Flying Burrito Brothers' influence didn't end with 1970s country rock. Their sound inspired a new generation of musicians who felt disconnected from mainstream rock and pop. In the 1980s and 90s, bands like Uncle Tupelo, Wilco, and Son Volt carried the Burritos' torch, blending punk energy with country storytelling. This spirit of creative freedom and genre blending defined alt-country and Americana, inspiring countless artists. The seeds planted by the Burritos grew into a diverse forest of new music, their vision more powerful than the band itself. The Flying Burrito Brothers may never have entered the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a group, but their influence is undeniable. Through acclaimed compilations and reissues, their music reached new generations, transforming from overlooked to legendary. Songs like Sin City and Hot Burrito #1 became standards, covered by countless artists. The tragic story of Gram Parsons only deepened their myth, keeping their legacy alive. Their true legacy is measured in influence, woven into the DNA of modern country rock and American music. The enduring influence of the Flying Burrito Brothers can be boiled down to a simple but powerful concept: the burrito blueprint. This blueprint was more than just a musical style. It was a complete philosophical approach to creating music. A key part of this blueprint was the elevation of the pedal steel guitar from a country-specific instrument to a versatile and expressive voice in rock music. Sneaky Pete Kleino's innovative playing showed that the pedal steel could be psychedelic, soulful, and aggressive. His work inspired countless rock guitarists to explore new textures and sounds, and it encouraged a new generation of pedal steel players to push the boundaries of their instrument. Today, the presence of a pedal steel guitar in an indie rock band or an Americana act is a direct lineage that traces back to the Burrito's audacious experiments in the studio and on stage. Furthermore, the Burrito blueprint redefined the image of the country musician. Gram Parsons, with his flamboyant nudie suits embroidered with pills and marijuana leaves, shattered the conservative image of the Nashville star. He created the cosmic cowboy persona, a figure that was part honky-tonk hero and part rock and roll dandy. This aesthetic fusion gave future artists the freedom to play with image and identity, blending traditional Western wear with counterculture fashion. This visual legacy is still seen today in the style of many Americana and alt-country artists, who embrace a look that is both respectful of tradition and playfully subversive. Ultimately, the most important part of the blueprint is the music itself. The Flying Burrito Brothers left behind a small but nearly perfect catalog of songs that continue to serve as the gold standard for country rock. Their music proved that you could write songs with the emotional depth and narrative complexity of classic country, but deliver them with the power, energy, and attitude of rock and roll. This powerful combination bridged a cultural divide, creating a shared space where long-haired hippies and red state conservatives could find common ground. They didn't just create a new genre. They created a new way of understanding American identity through its music. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of one of music's most important bands. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the Flying Burrito Brothers. If you did, please show your support by hitting that like button, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel, What We Know, for more stories about the music and artists that shaped our world. Your support helps us keep these incredible histories alive. Let us know in the comments which band's story you'd like to hear next. Until then, keep listening.